Welcome back to Wise Words with SJ, and that's me. A show where we talk about wisdom. And today we're going to talk about dating checklists, one of my favorite things to do and to talk about on how to find the right person. We'll talk about another episode, but once you find a person to go out with, how do you navigate dating today? I have a dating checklist that I always have written down or have suggested to different people I know. The first thing is, what is the first date you're going to go on? My suggestion? The coffee date. You meet at a coffee shop. There are coffee shops on every single corner, right? Of course, right. So, you go and have a cup of coffee. The first thing you need to do is put your phone down. Can we talk reality here? Put your phone away. You're not going to get to know the person if your phone is out and you're always looking at your phone. Oh my God, I got to text my... Put the phone away and look at that person in the eye, okay? And talk to them. Dating is like a job interview. That's what I consider it to be, okay? So you're interviewing this person to see if you want to go out with them again, okay? So then pay for your own coffee. Don't let them pay for your coffee. That way, if it doesn't work out, you make a quick getaway. Thanks a lot. The coffee was great. You're a terrific person. I don't think we're the right match for each other. The second thing you want to find out is, do they work? Or are they expecting you to take care of them? I'm blunt. Let me ask you, what's your occupation? Do you work? You don't work? Well, then what do you do with your time? Forget him or her. If she doesn't work or he doesn't work, forget them. That's number 2. Number 3 is, have you been in any long-term relationships? Have you been married before? Do you have any kids? Like me and my husband, of course, first thing I said was, do you have a job? Yes. Oh, that's the second thing I said. The third was, have you been in any long-term relationships? No, I've never been married. Why haven't you been married? I've been taking care of my mother for the last year, 55. He's 55. Anyway, okay, so that was not on my list. My list was like funny, intelligent, self-supporting, had been married before, had kids. That was part of my list. The next thing was, all right, what are you looking for in a relationship? That's number 5. What do you want in a relationship? Are you looking to get married again? Now, I had many times where men would say to me, I just want to hook up with you, SJ. That's the nicer version of like, I just want to sleep with you, SJ. And I said, and I would bluntly say right away, if all you're looking for is to sleep with me, we might as well end this relationship right now, because I'm looking for a long-term relationship that leads to marriage. I was very blunt. I like to tell people right up front what I'm looking for. We don't waste each other's time. Then the next thing is like, what do you do for fun? Do you like to go to the Dodger baseball game? I do. What else do you like to do? Like, here's an example of what happened with my husband and me. We met at the bank, okay? And I had seen him at the bank with his mother, and she was a very little woman, like me, not unlike me, and she was always very mean, kind of thing. And he was very sweet to her, and we'd open the car door for her. It was very, very sweet. So I saw that he was a very loving person. So I hadn't seen him in a while. I see him online. I always met people. Meeting people has never been difficult for me. See him online at the bank. Where's your mother? She's dead. Okay, here's my card. I moved in very quick because I liked him. I liked the way he handled everything and took care of his mom. So he called me 2 weeks later, and I'm like, who is this? It's Ed. Ed who? For 2 weeks, he hadn't called me. Ed from the bank. Okay. So our first date was at Cantor's because he loved going to Cantor's. So we went on our first date. And then I said to him, hey, I love to walk every day. Why don't you come walking with me and we'll see, if we get along or not. So I asked him all the questions that I'm letting you know, like, are you looking for a long-term relationship? Have you been married before? Do you have any kids? Do you have any kids that you don't know about? What type of work do you like to do? What do you like to do for fun? What do you do like on the weekends? So he had a business. He was comfortable with that. He had a sister and twin nieces, and they were like, what does this woman want from my brother and uncle and all that kind of stuff? You always have the family. So we continued to date and get engaged and got married. My stories were still together. But like I said, go on the coffee date, number one. Number two, what do you do for work? Have you been married before? Do you like kids? Are you looking to have a kid? Okay, so you've been dating for oh, another thing, a very important thing, put the phone away. Put the phone away, okay? Like, or say if the person's looking, are you going to continue looking at the phone? No. Okay, so the next thing is, don't always text or call them. Let them call you. Don't call every day. Oh, I met the man of my dreams or the woman of my dreams. That ain't the truth. I'm coughing from all of this stuff that is like bringing up a lot of stuff for me. And find out what their intentions are. Like, what are your intentions? As I said earlier, excuse me, if it's just to sleep with me, move along. So, and I would say to date for 6 weeks before you hop into bed with them. By 6 weeks, you'll know if you've got a good relationship. You go out, you go to the movies, you go to dinner, you do different things together for the 6 weeks, and then you'll know if you're ready to sleep with them, you're ready for a committed relationship after 6 weeks. I've heard a lot of people say one date. Forget it. Forget that. Date for 6 weeks before you sleep with them, okay? Then you'll know if or not you want to stay, if or not, listen to me, if you want to stay in the relationship with them or not. So that gives you the opportunity to see if it's right for you. And I'm interested in a committed relationship with you. What are you interested in? And you sleep with them, and then you're in a committed relationship with one person. One person is a committed relationship. So that's the way I did it with him. I followed my own list. And always write down on the list, like, if you haven't found that person, what you're looking for. Is he like me? Funny, smart, successful, has his own business, has been married before, had kids, has their own home, has a car, because you don't want to be riding a bicycle. As this friend of mine the other day who has a bicycle, I go, don't you have a car? He says, no, I only have a bicycle for the last 8 years. And I go, well, how do you date? He said, date? What are you talking about? They expect you to drive them around and pick them up. I love that one, Anyway, so that's important. You don't want a deadbeat hanging on your door like that expects you to support them. Haven't you been with a person who wanted you to support them before? I know I have. So these are just the checklists. I know it sounds very clinical. Isn't that what dating is at the beginning? We're not like young and like falling in love and going to fall in love with anyone again like that. The first I fell in love, the second I fell in love, the third I fell in love, but I was smarter. So anyway, next episode, besides dating, will be ageism, one of my favorite topics. And please email me at wisewords@jltv.tv and I'll answer all your questions, whether you like it or not.